So your goal today is just to go over these two example simulation problems with me, and then you'll get a worksheet to work on. I highly recommend you actually pause the video right now and try these on your own. And then you can come back to the video and kind of see what we did differently, if you need to fix anything. You don't have to, but I think that would be more beneficial so you actually see what you can do on your own. Okay, so let's get started. Remember, on these where it's just asking you to carry out a simulation, you're going to do the 4 steps: state, plan, do, conclude. So I'm going to start with my state. I am specifying on this one that you want to use your calculator, so kind of be thinking rand int. We'll get to that in a minute. So if you're reading through the question, suppose I want to choose a simple random sample of size 6 from a group of 60 seniors and 30 juniors. I write each person's name on an equally sized piece of paper and mix them up in a large grocery bag. So it's describing a simple random sample with the HAP method. Just as I'm about to select the first name, a student suggests that we stratify by class, so by juniors and seniors. So we want to now get 4 seniors and 2 juniors, but it's already mixed up. The names are already mixed up, so it would be kind of tedious to separate them again. So now we're just going to do a simulation to represent the scenario. So we have 60 seniors and 30 juniors, and we want to be able to select 4 seniors and 2 juniors. Which means you would have to select 6 names out of the thing. But as you're selecting names, it might take you more than 6 slips of paper before you get to what you're wanting. So our goal is to estimate the probability that you must draw 8 or more names to get 4 seniors and 2 juniors. When you're doing your state, it's almost always that last sentence that's giving you what you're looking for. So we are trying to figure out what is the probability of selecting 8 or more names to get 4 seniors and 2 juniors. Okay, that is our goal. We want to figure out that probability. Okay. So for plan, again, think calculator. So when it comes to numbering, you don't have to worry about everything being the same number of digits. So if you have 60 seniors, let's just let 1 to 60 represent the senior names. And 61, there's 30 juniors, so 61 to 90 equal juniors. Okay, so that is probably the simplest way I could come up with it. Remember, you could always start with 0 and do 0 to 59 and then 60 to 89. It seems somewhat arbitrary. This seems easier to me just because we don't have to worry about the number of digits. This seems easy. Okay, so then we would say how to use the calculator. So I would say something like use rand int from 1 to 90. We want 6 names, but the whole point of this is we don't know how many names we're going to have to select. So I honestly recommend you just do one number at a time. We're going to do that until we get 4 numbers from 1 to 60 and 2 numbers from 61 to 90. And we do, once you select a person, like think about the actual situation, once you pull out a slip of paper from the bag, you don't put the slip of paper back in. So in the real situation, you would not be able to pick a person twice. With our simulation, it is possible that the same number could pop up twice, so we need to specify that we're going to ignore repeating numbers. And what's nice about using the calculator is since we set the parameters from 1 to 90, there's no numbers that are going to pop up that you have to ignore except for repeating numbers. All right, so remember with your plan, you have your numbering system, you describe with enough detail, including the repeating, how to use your process, and then the last thing is each trial, what are you recording? So we would say record the amount of numbers selected until 4 seniors and 2 juniors occurred, or something like that. All right, but the thing we're looking for is the amount of selected names. That is what we're going to record each trial. Okay, from here, I can go through 1 or 2 trials just to show you how it would work. It didn't specify in the problem. Let's just assume it had said perform 5 trials. It's a pretty common Frappy request is for y'all to do 5 trials. So I'm just going to do 1 or 2. You can do your own to get your own data. So you would do randint, so math probability, 1 to 90. Do it 1 time. I'm just going to do 1 number at a time. So my first number that I selected is a 31. So again, when you're doing your do step, you just need to come up with a way to record your data or record your process that's easy for the person that's going to grade this to keep up with. I know this is not a lot of space, so do the best you can. So for trial 1, my first number is a 31, which according to our numbering system is a senior. If I do my next number, I get a 90. So the next number I got was a 90, which is a junior. Then I get a 19, which is a senior. And then I get 72, which is a junior. So if I get any more juniors from 61 to 90, I'm going to have to ignore them. Oh, so right there. 86, I'm going to ignore. 20. And I'm not exactly ignoring that, but it doesn't count towards our total of adding to the 6 because I already have my 2 juniors. 20, senior, so I just need 1 more senior. I got 34, so there's my last senior. So then what am I recording each time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It took 7 selections to get the 4 seniors and 2 juniors I wanted. Okay. If I had more space, I might off to the side make some sort of key, J equals junior, S equals senior. This is the number selected, something like that, but I'm kind of squished on space. Okay, you can do another trial. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going. Now, here's a nice thing. These new numbers, these are now back into fair play. So if I happen to get another 90 on this next trial, that's okay. It's just within the trial, you have to worry about repeating numbers. So number 1, that would be a senior. 85, that would be a junior. 10, senior. Oh, see, okay, I got a 1 again. So here's the only example of where I already have a 1 within this trial, so I am going to completely ignore that happened. I'm not even going to write it down. So it's not like this one where I'm still writing it down and counting it towards my total. I'm not even going to pretend. I'm going to pretend that didn't even happen because it's not possible with this scenario to have a repeating number. Okay, so 50 would be senior. 78 would be a junior. So I have my 2 juniors. I need 1 more senior. I got an 88, so I'm going to put it on there because I haven't gotten an 88 yet, but it's not going to count towards my total, or it's not going to count towards my count. And then I got 26, so there's my last senior. So this one actually took the same number for me. It took 7. So I'm going to save some time here and go ahead and stop here, but I would recommend you do at least 5. Let's just pretend that in my make-believe trials, the next one I was exactly 6, the next one took me 8, and the last one took me 7. I'm making those numbers up. There's my 5 trials, and there's my 5 recordings of how long it took me to get 4 juniors and 2 seniors. Okay, so then when you go to your conclude, you would say something like, based on our simulation, there is a, and then looking at your 5 trials, so it's something out of 5, how many times, and again, what were we trying to find? What is the probability of selecting 8 or more names? According to my somewhat made up trial numbers, that happened once. So I'd say 1 out of 5, which is a 20% chance of selecting 8 or more names to get 4 seniors and 2 juniors. Okay, so whenever you're putting this together and giving me like your proportion or your probability, it's always out of the number of simulations you did, how many ended up giving you what you were looking for. Okay, so that's that one. This next one is a 2001 number 3 question, so I'm going to go ahead and help you guys work through it, but you're always welcome to go look online for the model solution and the scoring guideline. It's all online. And this is not asking you to do a straight simulation, it's having you do parts of it, so we might not necessarily do state plan. Do Conclude's going to walk you through a good chunk of it. All right, every Monday, a local radio station gives coupons away to 50 people who correctly answer a question about a news fact from the previous day's newspaper. The coupons given away are numbered from 1 to 50, with the first person receiving coupon 1, second person receiving coupon 2, and so on until all 50 coupons are given away. On the following Saturday, the radio station randomly draws numbers from 1 to 50 and awards cash prizes to the holders of the coupons with these numbers. And then it goes into some numbers. So we are going to continue to draw without replacement. So that just be thinking you're going to have to ignore repeating numbers, until a total amount awarded first equals or exceeds $300. So our goal is to get to $300. And so here's how the money works. If they had a coupon from 1 to 5, they get $200. If they had a coupon from 6 to 20, they get $100. And if they had a coupon from 21 to 50, they get a $50 reward. So we're going to have to randomize selecting coupons and also keep track of how much money it is, because we stop when we get to 300. So explain how you would conduct a simulation using the random number table provided. So we're thinking random digit table to estimate the distribution of number of prize winners each week. So we're kind of skipping the state because they're giving that to us. They're just asking for the plan. How would you conduct a simulation? So what is your plan? So think, how am I going to number? How am I going to use the table? What am I going to record? Okay, if they've numbered the coupons from 1 to 50, I kind of recommend you just stick with that and not confuse your brain. So I would not recommend doing 0 to 49, because stick with their numbering system. So I would just say now, since we are using a digit table, we do need to have the same number of digits. So I would say 0, 1 to 50 equal your coupon numbers. And that's poor grammar. Apologize. Okay, so then how do we use the table? We're going to read our table, 2 digits at a time. You're going to ignore the numbers 0, 0, and then 51 to 99. And within each trial, again, we're selecting kind of like the previous one. We're selecting coupons out of like a big bucket. So once a coupon's been selected, it can't be selected again. They said without replacement. So we would say and ignore repeating numbers. We will have to, as you randomly select some numbers that represent the coupons, track the money being earned, and then we're going to stop when we either get to exactly 300 or more. So stop when $300 is reached or exceeded. Because you might like have one that stops at 250 and the next one bumps you up to 350, and that would be where we stopped. Okay, so I've done my numbering. I've explained how I'm going to use the table. What I need to say now is what is being recorded each trial. So what are we looking for each trial? We're trying to figure out how many numbers it'll take, or how many coupons it'll take, basically the number of prize winners. How many people are going to win each week? How many coupons do I draw? So we're going to record the number of selected winning coupons for each trial. Okay, so this one actually just says simulate 3 times, so they're being nice. Start at the leftmost digit in the first row of the table and move across. Make your procedure clear so that someone who can follow what you did. So again, make keys off to the side, make it obvious for us. You must do this by marking directly on or above the table, and you can always add stuff to the side. And it's super nice here. It's actually telling you report the number of winners in each of the 3 trials. So they're really trying to walk you through this process. Okay, so I'm just going to keep track of it down here. So trial 1, my first person I'm getting is 72. Okay, well that's outside of our range, so we're gonna ignore that. Next number is 74, outside of our range, ignore that. Same thing, next one says 91, ignore that. Okay, so the first number that's actually happening, that's good, is 33. Money-wise, if you go back up here, 6 through 20, okay, 21 through 50 earned $50, so that just earned us $50. Okay, then we are gonna keep going. The next coupon I get is number 47. And that still just earns me $50, so I'm at $100 now. Remember, we stop when we get to 300. Next number says 65. That's going to get ignored. It's bigger than 50. Next one is 03. Okay, so that is 1 to 5 gets $200. Okay, well, that just put us at a $300 total. So we're going to stop here. That's our trial 1. And then report the number of winners in each of your 3 trials. So I would say 3 winners. Okay, trial 1. Since I'm trying to be really, really obvious, I'm going to go ahead and switch colors. If this helps anybody, I understand on an AP test you wouldn't necessarily be able to do this, but okay, trial 2. I'm just going to keep going doing the same thing. So I'm going to start where I stopped. Next number says 02. That's going to earn us $200. We're off to a good start. Next number is 61. We're going to ignore that. 28 is only earning us $50, so we're at $250. Next number says 49, and that's going to also earn us $50, so we're at our total of $300. So we're going to go ahead and stop, and so I would record again that I only had 3 winners in that trial. Okay, so trial 3. Keep going. Next number says 6, so that's $200. Next number is 70. Ignore 29, which is $50. So we're at $250. Next number says 04, which is another $200. So that's definitely over $300 now. So we're going to stop, and I would say, I can't spell, 3 winners. So it's kind of random that we ended up getting 3 winners, but maybe there's something to that. This was only part, no, I'm just kidding. So this is it. Now, we aren't technically doing a conclude. It wouldn't hurt anything to put that off to the side, but they did not ask for that. They just asked you to perform 3 simulations, make it clear how you did it, and report the number of winners, and so I've done that. Now, if I was gonna do some sort of conclusion, I would have to know more with what they're asking. I think there might have been a part C, D on this. But there you go. There's some simulations. If you'll show your completed notes to the sub, she'll give you the worksheet, and then you have the rest of the period to work on that. It is not due until next Tuesday, so you've got plenty of time to get help on the ones that are causing you trouble. All right, thanks.